CCA Lyra, Astronomical Undertaking. Greetings! This is a review of the CCA Lyra, which KZ official store through Tivan Lam have provided me to review. Disclaimer: I was provided the unit in exchange for a no-frills unbiased review. I am neither paid nor commissioned to provide a skewed review. The CCA Lyra claims to be CCA/KZ's first outing in a so-called Constellation series, which further details have yet to be revealed. Nonetheless, this IEM continues along the path of KZ's sister company's vision of creating a sound that is different from the parent company's. It indeed fulfills that vision, but feels half-hearted due to its tendencies of not going fully into a mature and fresh tuning decision. Packaging. Presentation. This section will be shortened due to the fact that it's the same KZ CCA packaging that we have seen millions of times. Same exact slip-on style covering, acrylic flap that protects the inner part of the box, etc. Even the dimensions are the same. The only differentiating factor is a short background/lore for the Lyra naming, which explains the decisions on the shape of the IEM and its Chinese mythology roots. Considering the price range that the Lyra comes at, which is less than $20, I wouldn't complain that much about how this one is packaged. Product. We are presented by a new type of faceplate design that KZ/CCA have cooked up. A diamond-like molding/sculpting that refracts light in a stellar, pun intended, way. This is achieved through three-dimensional hexagonal shapes that run throughout the plastic window present in the Lyra's faceplate. This window is available in both translucent and a bluish color, which features the same diamond-like presentation. The rest of the faceplate is made out of an alloy metal material, with CCA's logo printed, not etched, to it. The rest of the IEM's back is made out of resin material that KZ/CCA has been regularly using in their recent releases. It has the fin-like protrusion that may or may not be suited to your liking. Particulars. As usual with budget IEMs, we get the mere basics: cable, ear tips, and a little manual. Both cable and tips are, again, what we've seen all the time from KZ/CCA's releases from the past year or so. The cable is the white 0.75mm C-pin type, and the tips are KZ Starline. More on their build quality later. Build quality and comfort. The build quality of the Lyra is par in course with most of KZ/CCA's releases for the past years. A metal faceplate plus a resin body. This is not a criticism though, as it's miles better than what we have gotten back in the early years of Chi-Fi, which was almost all plastic. The main stat of the build is eventually the diamond-like design in the window of the faceplate, which was marketed heavily by KZ/CCA prior to its market release. The whole design contraption seems to be well protected and won't crack up in just a few taps. Same goes to the alloy metal faceplate. It has a bare matte finish as opposed to a glossy painted one. That ensures that it won't have any paint chipping issues. My praises about the build suddenly stops when it comes to the cable and tips that it comes with, as both are just flimsy. The cable is what we usually get from newer KZ/CCA releases, which was impressive at first but now seems to be mediocre at best. They oxidize quickly and generate a level of junkiness as time goes on. The tips are just unimpressive, to say the least. Their quality isn't good and they really hold back the innate sound capabilities of any IEM it latches itself at. But yet again, I have to soften the blow because of the price it comes at. But if you have the option and/or have the money to replace the cable and tips, do it. Comfort is superb for me in terms of KZ/CCA's fin-like protrusion, but the problem with this is that it isn't universally acclaimed. I have seen people try out my IEMs that are shaped like this and immediately dislike it because of said fins. I have bigger conscience than the average person of my ethnicity, so smaller ears will definitely have problems with this. Ear insertion seems to be of average depth, so it won't be either a shallow nor a deeper fit. This is a huge plus for me as I prefer the type of ear insertion than the aforementioned two. The music used for the testing of this IEM are as follows. All files are all on a FLAC format, either 24-bit/48 kHz or 24-bit/96 kHz. For the sound of the CCA Lyra. The signature of the CCA Lyra was a surprise for me at first listen as it sounded more mature and well thought out than your average KZ product. The Lyra is indeed more balanced, which really entices my musical sounding preference. It sounds smooth and well resolving for most of the songs, but its flaws show up the longer you listen to it at a more critical angle. It still retains its parent company's tendencies for peaky treble and sense of artificiality to the sound, which really drags down the potential it has. However, it is a genuinely good IEM for an audiophile on budget that looks to have both balance and fun in their next purchase. The bass is well-bodied and punchy throughout the bass spectrum. I can say with utmost confidence that this is definitely not a truly balanced approach to bass frequencies, as it thumps real hard with any song you throw at it. I'm quite fond of how the Lyra does its bass, as the bass has a meaning and reason to be there. Some balanced IEMs out there just does bass for the sake of having it, without any authority nor reason for being there. Bass frequencies are meant to give authority to any song, and the Lyra fulfills that. A definite criticism I can throw at it is that it has the slightest tendency to bleed into the mid-range, but not so much that it can offend the listener. Bassheads can get their kick out of the Lyra with some slight EQing, which is really a testament of how good Lyra is at its bass performance. The mid-range is the shocker of the Lyra. It is smooth and musical when a song calls for it. It renders instruments at great resolution, which really helps to pop out in every song you throw at it. However, the musicality is there, yet it lacks the body to really bring it to the next level. Both male and female vocals are rendered excellently, yes, but they lack the oomph in their performances that really brings out the impact. One example I can bring out is Annette Olsen's performance in the Nightwish's song Amaranth. She has an incredible vocal layering on the track, which really made me a huge fan of her work in the band. In the Lyra, those layers lose their magnificent impact, resulting in a resolving yet hollow experience. The same can be said for every vocal line and instrument thrown at the Lyra. It's very musical and resolving, yet hollow. The treble is Lyra's definite weakness. Yes, it has good body and shine to every cymbal hit and performance nuance, but it overdoes it. This is always my criticism of how KZ tunes their in-house sets, as it results in a certain feel of artificiality that plagues their IEMs. Lyra is a slightly toned-down version of it, but the sonic smell still lingers and haunts its otherwise balanced approach. Yes, this might sound good for newcomers and/or veterans of KZ's sound, but as a result of that, every song loses their natural feel. I can coin this in a single phrase: faux resolution. This faux resolution results in peaks that are sometimes unbearable to listen to for longer amounts of time, resulting in a fatiguing listen to a sensitive ear. For the soundstage, my impressions of the Lyra soundstage remain to be the same in my first impressions. It is still quite average. Yes, it has good width that makes for a spacey feel, but lacks the headroom to give songs some height. This does not come wasted though, as the width gives way for excellent imaging. Even with the Lyra's thumping bass response, instruments are still presented at great accuracy without them overlapping each other. So my verdict is, for the packaging, 2 atomic breaths out of 5. For the build quality and comfort, 4 atomic breaths out of 5. And for the sound, 3 atomic breaths out of 5.